Hello class, my name is Thompson. I'm a trainer at Rubavu Technical College, TVET, and today we are going to learn together the module which is called TV receiver repair. Today's topic is to prepare TV receiver and power supply repair. At the end of this module, each learner will be able to select and arrange different tools, materials, and equipment required for TV receiver repairing. She will be able to assembling and disassembling a TV receiver and power supply repairing. As we are learning together, I'd like to invite you to take some note and do a practical exercise with me. Firstly, you may ask yourself, what is a TV receiver? A television receiver is an electronic device used for viewing and hearing the broadcasted image and its audio. In summary, a TV receiver is an audio and video receiver from a number of sources and process them and provide power amplification to driver loudspeaker. Now we are going to prepare the workplace accordingly in order to repair a TV receiver. Firstly, as a professional technician, you have to select PPE, which is personal protective, made to protect you against any hazard while you are doing any kind of repairing. While you finish to select PPE such as gloves, helmet, overall, noise mask, goggles, and so on. What you do, you have to select tools, materials, and equipment required for TV receiver repairing, such as a universal screwdriver, flat screwdrivers, Allen keys, screwdriving machine, cutting pliers, stripping pliers. This one is called the blower, a soldering tin, a soldering iron.
These two are used while doing soldering and desoldering when you want to join together two different metals.
Cleaning brush, there is a soldering station, magnifying glass, and so on. Now we are going to see the main part of a TV receiver. What we are going to do, we start by external part. External part, as you can see, this one is called a cover. It's used to protect the whole internal component of this TV receiver. And this one, as you can see, is called a volume control. It's used, as you already know, to adjust the volume. And this one is a menu, which is used to select different options. This one is infrared sensor. It's used to sense or to connect the remote control which the user holds while he wants to change some option through the TV. This one, as you know, is a power inlet, which is used to supply AC current which came from our home socket to the power supply of this television. The audio and the video RCA ports, HDMI ports, and finally, a VGA ports. The others of nowadays has a USB ports. And this one, as you can see, is a channel selector. It's also used to select any kind of channel in which you want to follow up. As we finish to see the external part of our TV receiver, now we are going to see the internal part of a TV receiver. As we already learned about it, while we are going to see the internal part of our TV receiver, it reminds us about assembling and disassembling. Assembling is to fix together separated pieces in order to form one whole. While disassembling is to separate or to break down one device into many pieces. As you can see, while we are going to see the internal part of this TV receiver, what we have to do what is called disassembling. By the use of our universal screwdriver, we are going to unscrew the screw which holds this cover of this TV receiver in order to reach the internal component. After removing the TV cover, you must discharge the main filter capacitor and the ghost the display, as you can see at your own screen. The main internal part of a TV receiver, as you can see, there is a DC power supply, which is used to supply the required direct current into the internal component of this TV receiver. And also, it's used to convert alternative current, which is found at a home socket, into direct current, which is required by the internal component of this TV to work properly. As you can see, this power supply of this TV receiver has main part, such as a chopper transformer, a regulator, a rectifier, a filter or a main capacitor, a drive transistor, and so on. The next internal part, as you can see, there is an amplifier, there is a tuner, there is also a synchronizing IC, a vertical IC or integrated circuit, EHT. Finally, there is a display. Also, while you are going to assembling and disassembling a TV receiver accordingly, you have to follow the manufacturer instruction in order to accomplish the task of assembling and disassembling a TV receiver properly. As we finish to see the main part of a TV receiver, either internal part and external part, now we are going to see how to repair a TV receiver power supply. Firstly, you have to know the general fault which occur in TV receiver power supply. Mostly, the main fault which occur in TV receiver is when one of the components which made a power supply of a TV receiver is blown up. For example, when the blown up fuse, blown up chopper transformer, blown up rectifier, blown up main capacitor, blown up resistor, blown up regulator, blown up a drive transistor or IC, integrated circuit. While you already know the general fault which occur in TV receiver power supply, what you have to learn is about replacement of defected component according to their type. Firstly, you have to do soldering and desoldering different components of TV receiver power supply. As you can see at your own screen, we are doing soldering and soldering. After that, we are going to replacement of defected component according to corresponding component. As you can see, if the fuse is blown up, I have to replace the fuse according to the corresponding fuse. If the main capacitor is blown up, as you can see, by the help of soldering and soldering, I replace it according to corresponding capacitor, and so on. While we finish to replace defected component according to the corresponding component, what we do is to conduct after repair testing. You do a voltage measurement at different stage of a TV receiver power supply. For example, you start by the chopper transformer, rectifier, regulator, a filter, or stage which made this power supply of this TV receiver, you do a voltage measurement in order to make sure that the replacement of the defected component was done well. When you finish to test a TV receiver power supply, what we have to do is to do what is called assembling, which is to fix together separated pieces in order to form one whole. And after all, you do what is to clean the workplace accordingly. And thank you for your attention. In our next session, we will see how to repair a TV receiver amplifier. As we're running together, I hope you took some note and you keep doing practical exercise with me. See you next time. Enjoy.